Hey guys, you're watching Lightning Rock, and in this Perler Bead tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make these Among Us characters. You could also consider this video as an ironing tutorial because I will show you everything in detail. Let's get it on. The very first part of our imposter or our Among Us character is the front. I'll also be showing you exactly how to iron each piece because I want to make everyone accessible to Perler Beads. Now, I iron on the cotton and linen setting, and this isn't sped up. So this is as long as I iron. And once every bead is ironed on this side, I usually flip it over and iron the other side. Now I'm flipping it over. And now we have to repeat the exact same that we did on the other side here. And now we iron it again. Once you've finished ironing, you're gonna need to put it under a weight. Here I'm using a book. Now this piece is the back of our Among Us character. Also, make sure to pause the video right now to copy down the design. Now we're gonna cover it with a sheet of ironing film, and we're gonna start to iron it. Also, make sure after you iron that there is a very crisp looking piece that isn't over ironed. Make sure it's about less than half a centimeter. Also, as you can see, I'm sometimes holding the iron with the tip in some pieces because I see that in some places the beads aren't fully fused together. Now, we flip it over, and also make sure to do it on a non-flammable surface because otherwise it could cause some flames or damage. So now we're gonna iron it the other side. And once you're finished ironing, it's time to place it under a heavy book. So here I have a big encyclopedia. Right now, I'm assembling both of the side panels of our imposter. Make sure to make both of these pieces because they're going to be going on either side. Also, if you're wondering how to make that small person, you'll have to repeat all these processes, but with mini beads. Also, make sure to iron the mini beads on a lower setting and hold it for less time because mini beads are much thinner and are gonna melt much easier. So if you want to make the small sidekick, make sure to do it from mini beads. And the template's exactly the same as the big one. And once one side of our side is finished, it's time to flip it over and re-iron the other side. As you can see, I'm moving it in a circular motion to spread the heat evenly. And at the end, I kind of iron specific parts if they're not completely ironed. And now we're going to place it under a heavy book. Now these are the top connector. This is the top. There's also going to be a top that is going to be right under this piece. Also, don't forget to iron both sides of each piece. because that's going to enable us to put them together. And now we're going to iron the other side. And now we place it under a big book to cool. Make sure to place it under a heavy book because it has to be perfectly straight for the 3D to work. Now this is the bottom part of the top, which is basically going to go exactly underneath the top panel. This is just to cover up all the holes that will be made between the top and the sides. And now we flip it over and iron the other side. And once it's ironed, we place it under a book and let it cool down. Once you've made the first set of pieces and ironed them, it's time to put them together. So this is the front with these 4 holes, and this is the back with 5 of them. So we're going to take the front and the back and we're just going to line them up like this. And then we're going to take the bottom up top and then we're just going to put it right into there. Like so. And now we're going to put in the other side. Next we're going to take the toppest top and we're just going to slide it onto the top like so. And you should see both of these pieces overlapping each other. Now we're going to take the side panels and making sure that these double holes are at the bottom. We put it in and then we flip over the model and then we apply the other side. Now the body of our model is finished. The next parts of our Among Us character, or as you can call it, imposter, is the back of his backpack. So this is the part that will be clamping onto his body for the backpack to hold on. So now we're going to iron it exactly as we've ironed all of the previous pieces. So now that one side's ironed, it's time to flip it over, put the board aside, and it's time to iron the other side. And once this side's ironed, we put it under weight and let it cool down completely. Make sure not to take it out from underneath the book until it's cool because it has to be perfectly straight. Now these are the main connectors which will connect the backpack together. Also, the bigger the piece is, the more time it will take for it to iron because the iron only has a specific amount of heat in it. So the bigger the piece, the longer you'll have to iron it, and the smaller it is, the less time you'll have to hold it. As you can see right here. So now we just place it under a heavy weight to cool. Now these are the final connectors for the backpack to finish it off with a 5x6 square at the back. So now that this side is ironed, it's time to iron the other side. And once these pieces are complete, it's time to assemble it together. And once it's cooled down under the heavy weight, it's time to put the backpack together. Once you've made the set of pieces that is required to assemble the backpack of our imposter, it's time to put it together and apply it to our Among Us character. So we're going to take this big square and one of these 2x5 pieces, and we're just going to put them right in the middle. Like so that on the other side, 2 beads peek out. So that 2 beads on either side, as you can see. Now we're going to take the back of our character and we're just going to put it right into this hole, making sure that the 2 beads are still sticking out. Now we're going to take the remaining 2x5 pieces and just insert them into the holes so that 2x2 squares are peeking out in every place. And now for the last 2x5, it's in. Now to finish off the backpack, we have to take both of these pieces and we're going to apply them like this and then like this. And the backpack of our imposter is finished. Now it's time for putting together the feet. So this is the inner sides of the feet. And now we're going to iron as usual. Also, if you're interested in making the red one with the white visor, you'll just have to swap the black colors to red and the red visor to a normal white visor. You can also make any color you want by just changing the main color, which is in this case red and black, to just any color you want, even rainbow. So now we're gonna flip over this piece and we're gonna iron the other side. So now that these pieces are completely ironed, it's time to put them under a heavy weight. Now these are the complete bottom of the feet. And now we iron it as usual. Make sure to iron both sides of each piece because it'll be essential for connecting all of them together. Now we let it under a heavy weight. Now this is just a 6 bead line just to complete the gap in between the legs. Make sure to hold the iron really little on this piece as it is extremely thin and will iron under really little heat, as you saw right there. So now we're going to iron this side as well, and then we're just going to place it under a heavy book and wait, and it's time to put it together. Once you've finished making the legs of our imposter, or you can just call it our Among Us character, it's time to put its legs together. So we're going to take this 6 bead rod and we're just going to put it into this hole right here, in between these beads. So first, we're just going to put it right here, make sure it aligns, and then we're going to take our finger and push it all the way in. You might need to hold it on both sides as you do so, but you will need it to go all the way through. so that it's all the way in there. You should also see the front of it over here, and the back of it will be covered by the back panel for the backpack. Now we're going to take both of these inner side leg pieces and we're going to put them in so that these two bead holes are facing the bottom. We're going to put them into right here, like so, and into the exact same place, but on the other side, like this. This might take a while, but I assure you, you'll get there. Now let's take the bottom and making sure that this wedge part is facing outwards, we're going to put it in, and we're going to repeat the same step on the other side. Now our imposter is almost done. All it is just to add the visor. Now it's time for the fun parts. The pieces that aren't colored black, finally. Now this is the red visor, and make sure to copy down the template well. So we're also going to iron this really quickly because it's a really small piece. And as you can see, it's already ironed. So now we're just going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. And now we're ironing this side, and now we just have to place it under a really heavy weight as a textbook or an encyclopedia. And time for the final pieces. The connectors that'll be connecting the visor to the main body of our imposter or Among Us character. So now that we've ironed one side of these connectors, it's time for the other one. And now we've ironed the other side. And once it's cooled under a heavy weight, it's time to put the visor on. Once you've assembled the Among Us character to this point right here, it's time to add its last part, the visor. So now we're going to just take one of these 2x2s and we're going to put it into here so that the red comes out, and we're going to repeat the step into the parallel hole right here. Now we're just going to slip the visor on from the bottom. Now we're going to take the remaining 2x2s and we're just going to poke them into the holes right there and right there. And now our Among Us character is finished. I hope you guys enjoyed building this model. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Don't forget to join the Discord group in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.